All right, this is my first extra credit, and it's going to be on Letter from a Birmingham Jail and comparing and contrasting it with the current situation I'm dealing with. So basically, in Scouts right now, we are organizing an effective shutdown of our lodge, which is a service organization, and the reason for it is we believe the chief, the president, so to speak, I'm going to put it in layman's terms, is completely out of line. He's pushing people away from the organization, not doing what's in the organization's best interest, and because of that, we as a group, and really not we, because I'm technically not involved in the protest, but because of my former ideals and association, the whole thing was effectively blamed on me, as I stated in class a few days ago in my presentation. Um, Basically, what we're doing is we're not allowing the voting members all to be there at one time. Whether we just decide, okay, you know, A, B, and C, you're not coming, March 4th, and X, Y, and Z, you're not coming for the following April. We plan on doing this from now until we get what we want, because you can't remove all of us if there's no quorum, and you can't pass anything to amend the bylaws to say you don't need quorum without quorum. So effectively, if we don't have quorum for the rest of our meetings, they can't do anything about it. And the last meeting, there's a lot of backlash at this. After the meeting, a lot of people were really upset. People that would normally be on the side of the people that are going against having quorum. And I think the reason for this is because, as King stated, or one of the people in King's, that in the article I read on it, um, people said that sometimes disobedience makes other people angry, which is a valid statement. There were a lot of older people that didn't want to back us up on this, and only did it on principle, not because they agreed with us. And I can understand, because a lot of people don't like when you disobey someone. However, the same thing quoted in one of the things that I read about Letter from Birmingham Jail, and I'll quote it perfectly, was that. Hmm, 1 second, I gotta bring this up. Pardon my looking this up. One person's assertion to King's and a demonstration was against the law. However, King argued that civil disobedience justified in the face of unjust laws, and that one has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. Basically, we feel like even though a majority elected this guy, he was very closely elected. He lost an election to me by one vote. That's partially why I'm trying to stay out of it, um, in case he is to get removed. That's really not my goal, though. I want nothing to do with this anymore. Um, Number one, and number two, because I didn't exactly feel that it would be right for me to poke him, because I did lose, and I have to have some sort of respect for him, as much as I don't like the person. Um, but basically, we don't agree with the way he's running things, the way he treats people, and his openness to being racist, which I think is the biggest issue. And because that's such an issue, is why I'm finally stepping in and getting involved, because it's starting to destroy something that I helped build. And I don't feel that's right at all. Um, However, with the King issue, what he, it makes sense why people get angry, because when you're purposely disobeying someone to cause tension, it gets to the point. It gets into people's heads. It's the same thing that happened here. It got to the point. It got to people's heads, and people got really upset. I got hit. I got punched upside the head. I had people pushing me, yelling, shouting. Nothing that I would ever do if someone disobeyed me. But these people that have power get so set on, I'm in power, and I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, and no one can stop me. And when someone does the only thing they can do to stop you, it's like you get blindsided in a car. You know, you get T-boned, and it comes out of left field, um, and you don't know what to do because you're so shocked by it. It's mostly shock value that gets reaction. When you get a reaction, normally, well, in most situations, I would think, um, you can do something with that reaction and try to help it make change. For example, we were offered a meeting to sit down and try to hash some things out. And while we're going to the meeting, I don't think that's going to help anything, and I have a feeling that it's probably just going to push us further and further back, which I'm perfectly okay with. I feel like there's no way in my situation to come to an agreement um, unless someone quits. And if someone quits, someone quits, and you can't do anything about it. Um, you know, it it's really unadult like to go and say, okay, you know, we're going to push the button 1,000 times until the building blows up, um, instead of trying to fix the problem. But when the people you're trying to work with refuse to negotiate, sometimes you just got to blow the building up and hope you're not left inside. I'm not going to blow anything up. It was just an analogy. I'm not going to blow anything up. Promise I'm not going to blow anything up. That's just a little reminder at the end. All right. One down, two to go.